Verses of the Senior Nuns, a friendly translation of the Therigatha. Nanduttara. In the past, I worshipped the sacred flame, the moon, the sun, and the gods. Having gone to a river ford, I plunged into the water. Undertaking many vows, I shaved half my head, preparing a bed on the ground. I ate no food at night. I loved my ornaments and decorations, and with baths and oil massages, I pandered to this body, racked by desire for pleasures of the senses. But then I gained faith, and went forth to homelessness, truly seeing the body. Desire for sensual pleasure is eradicated. All rebirths are cut off. Wishes and aspirations too. Unyoked from all yokes, I've found peace of mind. Mitakali. Having gone forth in faith from the lay life to homelessness, I wandered here and there, jealous of possessions and honors. Neglecting the highest goal, I pursued the lowest. Under the sway of corruptions, I never knew the goal of the ascetic life. I was struck with a sense of urgency as I was sitting in my hut. I'm walking the wrong path under the sway of craving. My life is short, trampled by old age and sickness. Before this body breaks apart, there is no time for me to be careless. I examined in line with the truth the rise and fall of the aggregates. I stood up with mind liberated, having fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Sakula. While staying at home, I heard the teaching from a monk. I saw the stainless Dhamma, extinguishment, the state that does not pass. Leaving behind my son and my daughter, my riches and my grain, I had my hair cut off and went forth to homelessness. As a trainee nun, I developed the direct path. I gave up greed and hate, along with associated defilements. When I was fully ordained as a nun, I recollected my past lives and purified my clairvoyance, immaculate and fully developed. Conditions are born of causes, crumbling. Having seen them as other, I gave up all defilements. I'm cooled and quenched. Sona. I gave birth to 10 sons in this form, this bag of bones. Then, when feeble and old, I approached a nun. She taught me the Dhamma, the aggregate sense fields and elements. When I heard her teaching, I shaved off my hair and went forth. When I was a trainee nun, my clairvoyance was clarified, and I knew my past lives, the places I used to live. I meditate on the signless, my mind unified and serene. I achieved the immediate liberation, quenched by not grasping. The 5 aggregates are fully understood. They remain, but their root is cut. Curse you, wretched old age. Now there'll be no more future lives. Bada of the curly hair. My hair mown off, covered in mud, I used to wander wearing just one robe. I saw fault where there was none, and was blind to the actual fault. Leaving my day's meditation on Vulture's Peak Mountain, I saw the stainless Buddha at the fore of the mendicant Sangha. I bent my knee and bowed, and in his presence raised my joined palms. Come, Bada, he said. That was my ordination. I've wandered among the Angans and Magadhans, the Vajis, Kashis, and Kosalans. I have eaten the alms food of the nations, free of debt for 50 years. Oh, he has made so much merit, that lay follower is so very wise. He gave a robe to Buddha, who is released from all ties. Patakara. Ploughing the fields, sowing seeds in the ground, supporting partners and children, young men acquire wealth. I am accomplished in ethics, and I do the teacher's bidding, being neither lazy nor restless. Why then do I not achieve quenching? Having washed my feet, I took note of the water, seeing the foot-washing water flowing from high ground to low. My mind became serene, like a fine thoroughbred steed. Then, taking a lamp, I entered my dwelling, inspected the bed, and sat on my cot. Then, grabbing the pin, I drew out the wick. The liberation of my heart was like the quenching of the lamp. 30 nuns. Taking a pestle, young men pound grain. Supporting partners and children, young men acquire wealth. Do the Buddha's bidding, you won't regret it. Having quickly washed your feet, sit in a discreet place to meditate. Devoted to serenity of heart, do the Buddha's bidding. After hearing her words, the instructions of Patakara, they washed their feet and retired to a discreet place. Devoted to serenity of heart, they did the Buddha's bidding. In the first watch of the night, they recollected their past lives. In the middle watch of the night, they purified their clairvoyance. In the last watch of the night, they shattered the mass of darkness. They rose and paid homage at her feet. We have done your bidding. We shall abide honoring you as the 30 gods honor Indra, undefeated in battle. Masters of the 3 knowledges, we are free of defilements. That is how 30 senior nuns declared their enlightenment in the presence of Patakara. Khanda. I used to be in a sorry state. As a childless widow bereft of friends or relatives, I got neither food nor clothes. I took a bowl and a staff and went begging from family to family. For 7 years I wandered, burned by heat and cold. Then I saw a nun receiving food and drink. Approaching her, I said, "Send me forth to homelessness." Out of sympathy for me, Patakara gave me the going forth. Then, having advised me, she urged me on to the ultimate goal. After hearing her words, I did her bidding. The lady's advice was not in vain. Master of the 3 knowledges, I am free of defilements. The Book of the Sixes. Patakara, who had a following of 500. One whose path you do not know, not whence they came nor when they went. Though they came from who knows where, you mourn that being, crying, "O my son," but one whose path you do know, whence they came or where they went, that one you do not lament. Such is the nature of living creatures. Unasked he came, he left without leave. He must have come from somewhere, and stayed who knows how many days. He left from here by one road. He will go from there by another. Departing with the form of a human, he will go on transmigrating. As he came, so he went. Why cry over that? Oh, for you have plucked the arrow from me, so hard to see, stuck in the heart. You've swept away the grief for my son in which I once was mired. Today I've plucked the arrow. I'm hungerless, quenched. I go for refuge to that sage, the Buddha, to his teaching, and to the Sangha. That is how Pattakara, who had a following of 500, declared her enlightenment. Vaseti. Struck down with grief for my son, deranged, out of my mind, naked, my hair flying, I wandered here and there. I lived on rubbish heaps, in cemeteries and highways. For 3 years I wandered, stricken by hunger and thirst. Then I saw the Holy One, back at the city of Mithila, tamer of the untamed. The awakened one fears nothing from any quarter. Regaining my mind, I paid homage and sat down. Out of compassion, Gautama taught me the Dharma. After hearing his teaching, I went forth to homelessness. Applying myself to the teacher's words, I realized the state of grace. All sorrows are cut off, given up they end here. I've fully understood the basis from which grief comes to be. Kema. You're so young and beautiful. I too am young, just a youth. Come, Kema, let us enjoy the music of a 5-piece band. This body is rotting, ailing and frail. I'm horrified and repelled by it, and I've eradicated sensual craving. Sensual pleasures are like swords and spears. The aggregates are their chopping block. What you call sensual delight is now no delight for me. Relishing is destroyed in every respect, and the mass of darkness is shattered. So know this, wicked one, you're beaten, Terminator. Worshipping the stars, serving the sacred flame in a grove, failing to grasp the true nature of things, foolish me, I thought this was purity. But now I worship the awakened one, supreme among men. Doing the teacher's bidding, I am released from all suffering. Sujato. I was adorned with jewelry and all dressed up, with garlands and sandalwood makeup piled on, all covered over with decorations, and surrounded by my maids. Taking food and drink, staples and dainties in no small amount, I left my house and took myself to the park. I enjoyed myself there and played about, and then, returning to my own house, I saw a monastic dwelling, and so I entered the Anjana grove at Saketa. Seeing the light of the world, I paid homage and sat down. Out of compassion, the clear-eyed one taught me the Dharma. When I heard the great seer, I penetrated the truth. Right there, I encountered the Dharma, the stainless state free of death. Then, having understood the true teaching, I went forth to homelessness. I've attained the 3 knowledges. The Buddha's bidding was not in vain. Anopama. I was born into an eminent family, affluent and wealthy, endowed with a beautiful complexion and figure, Maja's true-born daughter. I was sought by princes, coveted by sons of the wealthy. One sent a messenger to my father, "Give me Anopama. However much your daughter Anopama weighs, I'll give you 8 times that in gold coin and gems." When I saw the awakened one, the world's elder, unsurpassed, I paid homage at his feet and withdrew to one side. Out of compassion, Gautama taught me the Dharma. While sitting in that seat, I realized the 3rd fruit. Then, having shaved off my hair, I went forth to homelessness. This is the 7th day since my craving dried up. Mahapajapati Gautami. O Buddha, my hero, homage to you, supreme among all beings who released me from suffering and many other beings as well. All suffering is fully understood. Craving its course is dried up. The Eightfold Path has been developed, and cessation has been realized by me. Previously, I was a mother, a son, a father, a brother, and a grandmother. Failing to grasp the true nature of things, I transmigrated without reward. Since I have seen the Blessed One, this bag of bones is my last. Transmigration through births is finished. Now there'll be no more future lives. I see the disciples in harmony, energetic and resolute, always staunchly vigorous. This is homage to the Buddhas. It was truly for the benefit of many that Maya gave birth to Gautama. He swept away the mass of suffering for those stricken by sickness and death. Gutta. Gutta, you have given up your child, your wealth, and all that you love. Foster the goal for which you went forth. Do not fall under the mind's control. Beings deceived by the mind, playing in Mara's domain, ignorant they journey on. Transmigrating through countless rebirths. Sensual desire and ill will, and substantialist view, misapprehension of precepts and observances, and doubt as the fifth. O nun, when you have given up these lower fetters, you won't come back to this world again. And when you are rid of desire, conceit, ignorance, and restlessness, having cut the fetters, you'll make an end to suffering. Having wiped out transmigration and fully understood rebirth, hungerless in this very life, you will live at peace. Vijaya. 4 or 5 times I left my dwelling. I had failed to find peace of heart or any control over my mind. I approached a nun and politely questioned her. She taught me the Dharma, the elements and sense fields, the 4 noble truths, the faculties and the powers, the awakening factors, and the Eightfold Path for the attainment of the highest goal. After hearing her words, I did her bidding. In the first watch of the night, I recollected my past lives. In the middle watch of the night, I purified my clairvoyance. In the last watch of the night, I shattered the mass of darkness. I then meditated, pervading my body with rapture and bliss. On the 7th day, I stretched out my feet, having shattered the mass of darkness. The Book of the Sevens. Uttara. Taking a pestle, young men pound grain. Supporting partners and children, young men acquire wealth. Work at the Buddha's bidding. You won't regret it. Having quickly washed your feet, sit in a discreet place to meditate. Establish the mind, unified and serene. Examine conditions as other, not as self. After hearing her words, the instructions of Patakara, I washed my feet and retired to a discreet place. In the first watch of the night, I recollected my past lives. In the middle watch of the night, I purified my clairvoyance. In the last watch of the night, I shattered the mass of darkness. I rose up, master of the 3 knowledges. Your bidding has been done. I shall abide, honoring you as the 30 gods honor Saka, undefeated in battle. Master of the 3 knowledges, I am free of defilements. Kala. As a nun with developed faculties, having established mindfulness, I penetrated that peaceful state, the blissful stilling of conditions. In whose name did you shave your head? You look like an ascetic, but you don't believe in any creed. Why do you live as if lost? Followers of other creeds rely on their views. They don't understand the Dharma, for they're no experts in the Dharma. But there is one born in the Sakyan clan, the unrivaled Buddha. He taught me the Dharma for going beyond views. Suffering, suffering's origin, suffering's transcendence, and the noble eightfold path that leads to the stilling of suffering. After hearing his words, I happily did his bidding. I've attained the three knowledges and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Relishing is destroyed in every respect, and the mass of darkness is shattered. So, know this, wicked one, you're beaten, Terminator. Upakala. A nun with faculties developed, mindful, seeing clearly, I penetrated that peaceful state which sinners do not cultivate. Why don't you approve of rebirth? When you're born, you get to enjoy sensual pleasures. Enjoy the delights of sensual pleasure. Don't regret it later. Death comes to those who are born, and when born they fall into suffering, the chopping off of hands and feet, killing, caging, misery. But there is one born in the Sakyan clan, an awakened champion. He taught me the Dharma for passing beyond rebirth. Suffering, suffering's origin, suffering's transcendence, and the noble eightfold path that leads to the stilling of suffering. After hearing his words, I happily did his bidding. I've attained the three knowledges and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Relishing is destroyed in every respect, and the mass of darkness is shattered. So know this, wicked one, you're beaten, Terminator. The Book of the Eights. Sisupakala. A nun accomplished in ethics, her sense faculties well restrained, would realize the peaceful state, so irresistible, delicious, and nutritious. There are the gods of the 33 and those of Yama, also the joyful deities, the gods who love to imagine, and the gods who control what is imagined by others. Set your heart on such places where you used to live, the gods of the 33 and those of Yama, also the joyful deities, the gods who love to imagine, and the gods who control what is imagined by others. Time after time, life after life, are governed by substantial reality. They haven't transcended substantial reality, those who transmigrate through birth and death. All the world is on fire, all the world is alight, all the world is ablaze, all the world is rocking. The Buddha taught me the Dharma, unshakable, incomparable, not frequented by ordinary people. My mind adores that place. After hearing his words, I happily did his bidding. I've attained the three knowledges and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Relishing is destroyed in every respect, and the mass of darkness is shattered. So know this, wicked one, you're beaten, Terminator. The Book of the Nines. Vada's mother. Vada, please never ever get entangled in the world. My child, do not partake in suffering again and again. For happily dwell the sages, Vada, unstirred, their doubts cut off, cooled and tamed and free of defilements. Vada, foster the path that the seers have walked, for the attainment of vision and for making an end of suffering. Mother, you speak with such assurance to me on this matter. My dear Mum, I can't help thinking that no entanglements are found in you. Vada, not a jot or a skerrick of entanglement is found in me for any conditions at all, whether low, high, or middling. All defilements are ended for me, meditating and diligent. I've attained the 3 knowledges and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Oh, so excellent was the goal my mother spurred me with. Owing to her compassion, she spoke verses on the ultimate goal. On hearing her words advised by my mother, I was struck with righteous urgency for the sake of finding sanctuary from the yoke. Striving, resolute, tireless all day and night, urged on by my mother, I realized supreme peace. The Book of the Elevens. Kisa Gotami. Pointing out how the world works, the sages have praised good friendship. Associating with good friends, even a fool becomes astute. Associate with true persons, for that is how wisdom grows. Should you associate with true persons, you would be freed from all suffering, and you would understand suffering, its origin and cessation, the Eightfold Path, and so the 4 Noble Truths. A woman's life is painful, explained the Buddha, guide for those who wish to train, and for a co-wife it's especially so. After giving birth just once, some women even cut their own throat, while refined ladies take poison. Being guilty of killing a person, they both undergo ruin. I was on the road and about to give birth when I saw my husband dead. I gave birth there on the road before I'd reached my own house. My 2 children have died, and on the road my husband lies dead. Oh, woe is me! Mother, father, and brother, all burning up on the same pyre. Oh, woe is you whose family is lost. The suffering you have undergone has no measure. You have been shedding tears for many thousands of lives. While staying in the charnel ground, I saw my son's flesh being eaten, with my family destroyed, condemned by all, and my husband dead. I realized freedom from death. I've developed the noble Eightfold Path, leading to freedom from death. I've realized extinguishment as seen in the mirror of the Dhamma. I've plucked out the dart, laid down the burden, and done what needed to be done. The senior nun, Kisa Gotami, her mind released, said this. The Book of the Twelves. Upalavana. The 2 of us were co-wives, though we were mother and daughter. I was struck with a sense of urgency, so astonishing and hair-raising. Curse those filthy sensual pleasures so nasty and thorny, where we, both mother and daughter, had to be co-wives together. Seeing the danger in sensual pleasures, seeing renunciation as sanctuary, I went forth in Rajagā, from the lay life to homelessness. I know my past lives. My clairvoyance is clarified. I comprehend the minds of others. My clairaudience is purified. I've realized the psychic powers and attained the ending of defilements. I've realized the 6 kinds of direct knowledge and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. I created a 4-horse chariot using my psychic powers. Then I bowed at the feet of the Buddha, the glorious protector of the world. You've come to this sal tree all crowned with flowers and stand at its root all alone. But you have no companion with you. Silly girl, Aren't you afraid of rascals? Even if 100,000 rascals like this were to gang up, I'd stir not a hair nor tremble. What could you do to me all alone, Mara? I'll vanish, or I'll enter your belly. I could stand between your eyebrows, and you still wouldn't see me. I'm the master of my own mind. I've developed the bases of psychic power well. I've realized the 6 kinds of direct knowledge and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Sensual pleasures are like swords and spears. The aggregates are their chopping block. What you call sensual delight is now no delight for me. Relishing is destroyed in every respect, and the mass of darkness is shattered. So know this, wicked one. You're beaten, Terminator. The Book of the 16s. Punika. I used to be a water carrier. Even when it was cold, I would always plunge into the water, afraid of my master's beatings, harassed by fear of abuse and anger. Brahmin, what are you afraid of, that you always plunge into the water, your limbs trembling in the freezing cold? Oh, but you already know, Madame Punika, when you ask me. I am doing good deeds to ward off the wickedness I have done. Whosoever, young or old, performs a wicked deed, by ablution in water they are released from their wicked deed. Who on earth told you this? One ignoramus to another. Actually, by ablution in water, one is released from a wicked deed. Would not they all go to heaven then? All the frogs and the turtles, serpents, crocodiles, and other water dwellers too? Butchers of sheep and pigs, fishermen, animal trappers, bandits, executioners, and others of evil deeds, by ablution in water they too would be released from their wicked deeds. If these rivers washed away the bad deeds of the past, then they'd also wash off goodness, and thereby you would be excluded. Brahmin, the thing that you are afraid of when you always plunge into the water, do not do that very thing. Don't let the cold harm your skin. I have been on the wrong path, and you've guided me to the noble path. Madam, I give to you this ablution cloth. Keep the cloth for yourself. I do not want it. If you fear suffering, if you don't like suffering, then don't do bad deeds, either openly or in secret. If you should do a bad deed, or you're doing one now, you won't be freed from suffering, though you fly away and flee. If you fear suffering, if you don't like suffering, go for refuge to the Buddha, the unaffected, to his teaching and to the Sangha. Undertake the precepts. That will be good for you. I go for refuge to the Buddha, the unaffected, to his teaching and to the Sangha. I undertake the precepts. That will be good for me. I used to be Brahmin by kin. Today I truly am a Brahmin. Master of the 3 knowledges, accomplished in wisdom, I'm a scholar, a bathed initiate. The Book of the 20s. Amba Pāli. My hair was as black as bees, graced with curly tips. Now old, it has become like hemp bark. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. Crowned with flowers, my head was as fragrant as a perfume box. Now old, it smells like dog fur. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My hair was as thick as a well-planted forest. It shone, parted with brush and pins. Now old, it's patchy and sparse. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. With plaits of black and ribbons of gold, It was so pretty, adorned with braids. Now old, my head's gone bald. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My eyebrows used to look so nice, like crescents painted by an artist. Now old, they droop with wrinkles. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My eyes shone brilliant as gems, wide and indigo. Ruined by age, they shine no more. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My nose was like a perfect peak, lovely in my bloom of youth. Now old, it shriveled like a pepper. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My earlobes were so pretty, like lovingly crafted bracelets. Now old, they droop with wrinkles. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My teeth used to be so pretty, bright as a jasmine flower. Now old, they're broken and yellow. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My singing was sweet as a cuckoo, wandering in the forest groves. Now old, it's patchy and croaking. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My neck used to be so pretty, like a polished shell of conch. Now old, it's bowed and bent. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My arms used to be so pretty, like rounded crossbars. With age, they wrinkle and sag as a patala tree. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My hands used to be so pretty, adorned with lovely golden rings. Now old, they're like red radishes. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My breasts used to be so pretty, swelling round, close and high. Now they droop like water bags. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My body used to be so pretty, like a polished slab of lustrous gold. Now it's covered with fine wrinkles. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. Both my thighs used to be so pretty, like an elephant's trunk. Now old, they're like bamboo. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. My calves used to be so pretty, adorned with cute golden anklets. Now old, they're like sesame sticks. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. Both my feet used to be so pretty, plump as if with cotton wool. Now old, they're cracked and wrinkly. The word of the truthful one is confirmed. This bag of bones once was such, but now it's withered, home to so much pain. Like a house in decay with plaster crumbling, the word of the truthful one is confirmed.